Hi collectors, this is a close-up preview of the art I have been working on since the Iowa Hawkeye women's basketball team has been playing in the NCAA March Madness tournament. And I just wanted to give you an insider's look at the detail of the painting. Inside of the piece, there are tons of Easter eggs. What's an Easter egg? Just little nuggets of facts and information, little things I heard as I was painting and watching the game. One interesting thing about this painting is that the background was created using paint and a basketball. First, I started out on the deck with a tarp, and it was way too windy during the first game that they won against Holy Cross. And then yesterday's game, before the game, I spent some time thinking about how I could make a little paint booth that would be sheltered because the weather was really blustery and rainy and cold and gross. So I set up a tarp in my garage and some sawhorses to kind of create a little paint booth and manage to not splatter too much paint. But I used fluid acrylic paints. Actually, I used acrylic paint with a material called Floetrol and a type of oil that I can't remember the name of right now, and distilled water. It's this whole concoction that you use to make the paint do weird swirly things like this and like this. And I used a basketball. I squirted paint all over the canvas, like all over with, I have these ketchup, you know, those clear squeeze bottles that they have at restaurants for ketchup and mustard. And I just squeezed paint all over in the different colors and started dribbling on the paint with a basketball. And if you look closely, you'll see like the pattern of the tread of the basketball kind of embedded into the canvas everywhere. And I also made the letters I made a mask for the letters using duct tape. So I had those all sealed off with duct tape before I started doing the dribble activity. And then I really, really loosely, you can't really tell as much now, but loosely with black paint, I made the outlines of a basketball court across the whole painting. These are things that you'll appreciate, whoever ends up owning this piece or buying one of the limited edition prints that I'll be having available when it's done. This will be a conversation piece because you'll be able to tell people like, oh yeah, the background was made with a basketball by dribbling into paint. Then I have all of the jersey numbers of all of the basketball players incorporated into the piece. And then here, like all these textures were made with acrylic modeling paste. And this represents kind of the wooden floor pattern at Carver Hawkeye Arena. And we've got the words "be aggressive" embedded here. Also, one thing that I thought was really important to include was that there's no I in team. This I'll define a little bit more. And this is from A term I've been hearing all throughout the whole tournament is ball pressure, which makes me, I'm a mom of 2 boys, so anytime anybody says anything with balls, I have to giggle. So that's what that's all about. And you can kind of see all the swirls and stuff that are kind of in the background from when I did the acrylic pouring. And then the other thing, here's another little nugget: empowered women empower women. That's a common thread I feel like I keep hearing in all of the different advertisements and different media coverage of Caitlin Clark. She is not the only one who, she's not saying she's the only one who can do what she does. She is encouraging young girls everywhere to beat her record, to shatter her record. And she has so many little girls who look up to her and just totally admire her. So I thought that was an important thing to include. Then we've got the words box out. I've got some netting incorporated into the material, the canvas, to kind of represent the basketball nets. Let's see. There's little words written. There'll be like a word find in this. Like here we've got 64. First there were 64. The words competitive fire next to Caitlin Clark's number. I'm gonna have like a journey that says starting in Iowa City, and then bye bye Holy Cross. They beat Iowa or Holy Cross, and then we've got so long West Virginia. That was a nail biter. That game was a nail biter. Whew. And last home game for the seniors. Albany, here we come. And I've got started here down to 16. So I'll probably add some little Easter eggs in this section when I watch the game against Colorado on, is that Saturday or Sunday? I can't remember. Let's see. What else do we have? Oh yeah, and then there were 8. Here's a quote by one of the announcers during last night's game against West Virginia. I thought was hilarious and just so timely. She said, "Call your friends, call your neighbors, call your enemies. There's a good one brewing here in Iowa City." I just thought that was awesome. By Beth Mowins. I think that's how you pronounce her last name. Oh, and this here, play free. That was something that I believe Kate Martin coined that phrase, and she tries to live by that for every game she plays. So that's what we have so far. And I'm going to keep adding to this painting until the Hawkeyes either win the tournament or are eliminated from the tournament. And let's hope they win. I wish I could have gone to the actual game, but I wanted to be able to work on this during the game, and I don't think they would let me in with all these paints and supplies. So that's what we have for now. Also in the texture, I've used just household items and wrappers of things to create this texture. Like this texture was made using the netting from a bag of shallots that I bought when I was making a special meal a few weeks ago. I thought it kind of represents nicely like either the net, you know, from the basketball net, or even the tread of the shoes. Eventually, I would love to make a larger piece similar to this, but get the Hawkeye women's basketball team involved. I don't know if that's even possible, but I think it would be so cool to make something similar to this. Have them like step in paint, walk all over the canvas, and dribble their basketballs all over it to create the background, and then have them sign it, and then maybe have it displayed at the Steed Family Children's Hospital in Iowa City.